Hey everybody, welcome back to 8 Bite. Last week was my little break episode in the summer where I just kind of go to the carnival and have some carnival food, good stuff. And so I'm back in the kitchen, and this week we're doing Reagan's episode, yay! So last summer, Reagan requested a strawberry cake recipe, and I smashed it in my face. This year she wanted to see hard candy, so I'm going to do lollipops. This works the same for hard candies, but I'm just going to do it in a lollipop mold with sticks. And it's very simple, not many ingredients, but you have to be careful because hot sugar can burn you pretty badly. So it's very easy, you just got to be careful. But yeah, so not quick, but simple episode this week, and Reagan's episode, yay! So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so for making hard candy or lollipops, all you need is 1 cup of granulated sugar, a 1/3 cup of light corn syrup, 1/2 cup of water. Essentially, that's all you need for the candy part. But then for the flavoring and to make it look more appealing, you need some food coloring and some flavoring. These are little concentrated flavorings. You can find them in definitely like the craft stores, but I've also seen them at Walmart. You can get them online now as well. Yeah, so just a little bottle of flavoring. I've got 4 here. I'm probably just going to do 1 flavor though. But yeah, so those are the ingredients to make that. And then this is optional. I've got some citric acid and some malic acid. And those are used to make candies more tart or sour. Like if you ever have like a sour candy, the powder on it is usually malic acid. It's very sour. I've never tried it, but this episode I'm actually going to try a little spoonful of it to see how sour it really is. So yeah, those are optional. Water, light corn syrup, sugar, essentially all you need, plus some color and some flavor. So yeah, so now let's put it all together. A few more additional things that you're going to need though are going to be the saucepan to of course mix it in, and then you're going to need your candy mold. I've got this one, I got it from Amazon for like $10. Now when it comes to molds, you can buy the clear plastic ones at craft stores and such, but if you read the things about those, they're more geared towards like chocolate lollipops. This kind is silicone, and that's good for the high heat of the candy. I have seen people use those clear ones with hot candy, but silicone is a safe bet, and there's also some white plastic molds that usually are good for hot sugar as well. And then you're going to need some lollipop sticks, some cooking spray to spray inside there, a thermometer to monitor the temperature. When you make candy, you got to be careful with the sugar because temperatures matter. And this is a hard crack, and that's around 300 degrees. So a candy thermometer is ideal because it just sits in there and lets you monitor it. I can't find mine because I haven't made hard candies in a long time. So I'm going to use my regular thermometer, just kind of really monitor it, make sure it doesn't get too hot. And then you're going to need a pastry brush and some water, or you can even use like a wet paper towel and some water. And that's to wipe down the sides of this as it's cooking, which I'll explain a little bit later as it's cooking. And so now that we have all this stuff gone through, now it's time to put it together. Okay, so before I get to the actual mixing stuff, I have always been curious about malic acid. I've always heard about it, and I know that it is the stuff that you use on candies to make it sour, like very sour. So I've got this little tasting spoon. I'm just going to try a very little bit, because I've always been so curious about this. So if you see, I just got this little bitty bit on there. And it's like too much. Okay, even less now. So I've got that much on there. I just want to see how sour this actually is. So here goes nothing. Oh my goodness! Woohoo! What? Okay. Oh. Oh. Wow. Oh. Okay. Not a very pleasant taste, but the sourness is like punches you in the face. Oh my goodness. You don't know what to expect, but then it like kind of comes on. It's like wow. Wow, indeed. Oh. Whew. Okay. Whew. It's calming down a little bit now, but oh. That's very sour. No. Oh man. I want to try the citric acid also. I don't know how sour citric acid is, but I'm just curious about what it actually tastes like. So another little spoonful, another very little bit of powder of the citric acid. See if that one's as sour or not. I'm crying right now, I'm sorry. That was very sour, my eyes they're watering. Okay, so let's see how sour citric acid is. Oh! 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 I'm sorry. Oh man. Oh. 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 The citric acid adds quite a tartness. It's more tart. Oh man, they're very similar. The malic is slightly stronger. The citric is more tart, but it's really strong. Wow. Okay, I got to. I've always wanted to try that. I'm glad I finally got the stuff to try it. And so yeah, just a little bit in the candy will help bring out that flavor, really punch it out. Yeah, so wow, that was cool. All right, so now that that's out of my system and I tried that stuff, it is time to get back to the hard candies. That's what we're doing. I'm all frazzled now. So the first thing I'm going to do is just spray my mold very lightly. You don't need a lot of milk. Don't need a lot of oil on this. Just like a light coat, and that's all you need to do. So it's going to quick. That's it. And that's just help it release better once it hardens up. And being silicone, it might not need too much oil, but still just to be safe. Quick little spray in your molds to help it release when it's ready to go. Ooh. Okay, now over to the stove. Let's mix up some sugar. Alright, so you want to add your 3 ingredients, which is your water, your sugar, and your corn syrup into your saucepan. And to start it off, you want to put it on medium-high heat until the sugar is like dissolved and it's kind of a clear solution. So put it medium-high. Kind of give it a little stir, help it get mixed together. And you just want the sugar to dissolve before you turn the heat up. Okay, so now that the sugar is pretty much dissolved, I'm going to turn the heat up to high. And I'm going to explain the pastry brush and water while it's warming up this way, because as it's hot, I gotta kind of monitor it quickly. And so the pastry brush and water is to wash down the sides of your saucepan. And you want to do that because, alright, my instructor in culinary school told it to us, and it was a while ago, so I'm trying to remember exactly what she said, but I'm pretty sure it was, you want to do that so that way it washes off the sugar crystals, because if the sugar hardens on the outside and then it happens to like fall into the boiling mixture, it could crystallize the whole thing. So you want to wash down the sides to make sure all that sugar gets washed away and doesn't mess up the actual solution that you have boiling. And so I'm going to turn the heat up to high now, and it's going to start to boil for a while. And the temperature we're looking at is 300 is hard crack, but I want it a little less, so maybe 290, 295 Fahrenheit, so that way I can take it off the heat, and then the heat will still carry over after it's off the burner. So 290, 295, I'm going to take it off the heat, add the flavoring and the color, and then kind of mix that together, and yeah, that's how you make hard candy. Okay, sorry, okay, took off the heat because it is ready to go. It's about 295-ish. I'm gonna add some red food coloring. This is all to preference too, coloring and flavoring. So I'm just gonna add a couple of drops of red, and then I'm going to get out my flavoring, and it's gonna add some drops of this as well. So let's just add some, this is watermelon, by the way. Oh, that smells very good. Oh, that's so fragrant. Alright, so now we're going to whoops, get our spatula again. We're going to mix this together. Oh, that smells so good. Wow, that smells so good. Okay. So now you can see we've got this nice reddish color, pinkish reddish color, which is good for watermelon. And it smells amazing, wow. And that was about, I'll show you the dram in 1 second. Okay, so now that's all mixed together, we've got our molds over here. Yep, right off to the side. And we're just going to carefully, slowly pour this into the mold. So that's nice and mixed together. I've got my sticks ready. So now once again, just got to slowly and carefully pour this into our little molds. I'm sorry if the pot is blocking it. I'm putting a little bit in there first. And I'm going to take out a stick. You want to stick the stick in there, kind of twist it around so that it gets all over. And again, you gotta be careful with sugar. It's super hot and sticky, so if you do get it on you, ice and cold water immediately. So that's why I'm trying to be very careful, but kind of move fast also. And then you want to let this cool for, I don't know, around an hour. Let them cool down in there. Now these are the sticks that came with this mold that I got on Amazon, but you can get the other kind of sticks at any craft store, which, I mean, seeing how these are kind of like floating out a little bit, might not be a bad idea, because I believe these sticks are thicker. And the thicker sticks might actually hold in the mold a little better, but for now, I got these guys. Just gotta monitor them, keep making sure they're in all the way. And then after this cools down, about an hour, I'm gonna pop them out of the mold and give it a try. So I will see you guys in a moment as I wait for these to cool down. So in my franticness of getting the hot sugar in the molds and trying not to burn myself and just getting everything going, I forgot my acids. So that's why it's optional. But yeah, I would have added this when I added the coloring as well. So I wanted to put this in there to kind of mix it in, and I forgot to do that. It's okay, it's optional, but it just won't have that tartness I was looking for. So if you're wondering where that was, I forgot to put it in there. Just want to add that little note there. Okay, sorry for the all-overness of this episode. I've never done a hard candy episode, so there's a lot of information I'm trying to get out, and so that's why it's kind of like back and forth, on and off. But I just wanted to touch up on cleaning real quick. Because you just made hard candy, there's going to be some residue in your pot. It is going to be hard to like scrub out, so the best way to get rid of this is to put some water in here, I guess like halfway full, and then put it back on the heat and boil it. That's going to soften all the sugar up. Just gotta pour it out then, and it's a lot easier than trying to scrub this out with like a Brillo pad or anything like that. So, quick cleanup tip: make sure you don't get any on the stove either. I just spent 5 minutes cleaning up a little spot of sugar that I dropped on the stove, and you don't want that to burn because that will smell bad and will ruin pots and stuff. So, cleanup tips, and now I think that's the last bit of information before we go to the actual unlollipopping from the molds. So. Yeah, once again, see you soon. Okay, so it's been about an hour now, and they look pretty good. I'm not going to take them out by the stick, however, because it could still be fragile, so I'm going to carefully pull it around the mold and see how they turn out. So here we go. The unmolding of our lollipops. Just kind of pull around the side, silicone's nice that way. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's pretty. We've got a lollipop. The stick is very off-center, which why I think the paper sticks you get at a craft store might be better than these plastic ones that came with this mold. But it's holding it nonetheless. So here's one of our lollipops. Oh, looks so good. Now I just gotta do it to the rest of these guys. Alright, so there you have it. We have made lollipops today. Really simple. It's just the sugar, water, and corn syrup, flavoring food coloring, and of course, I forgot my citric acid and malic acid, but we have lollipops nonetheless. And again, this was just optional. But yeah, so let's see how our lollipops turned out. Ooh. I made candy! Awesome. Okay, so the flavor's a little subtle. I showed how much of the flavoring I added. I might want to add a little bit more next time. And also, I think if I added the acids once again, it would have given more of like a punchy flavor. However, it is still really good. I love watermelon. It's one of my favorite candy flavors, and it's just nice and subtle. Yeah. So awesome. So there you go. Again, if you make these, be very, very careful because hot sugar will burn you. When I went to culinary school and we did sugar work, a lot of the kids got burned by the sugar because when it lands on you, it sticks because it's sticky sugar, but then it cools quickly so it kind of sticks to your skin. So please, please, please be very, very careful if you should do this at home. But it is very good, so if you want to try something new, lollipops or hard candies, very, very cool. And also, I think to save these, you wouldn't want to do it in a plastic bag because it would stick to it. I think your best bet might be to use wax paper. Like get little wax paper squares or cut them out yourself and then kind of wrap it up like that because it shouldn't stick to it, but it should still keep it kind of fresh in there. So that's my recommendation for saving these for later. But yeah, so I think that's all the information I wanted to get out about hard candy lollipops. I threw a lot out there today. Hopefully it all made sense. And but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you, Reagan, for the episode idea. Hope you're having a good summer. But yeah, thanks you all for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye everyone, bye.